Welcome to our 21 Days of Wellness Chats. We're here with Kristen Dyck today to talk about planning and how can planning help you in this holiday season, keep you less stressed and keep you a little bit more organized. So, Kristen, why does planning play such an important role in our lives?
Oh, it plays a hugely important role, Anshu. And thanks so much for having me. I'm a personal branding strategist, so I'm a little bit, we talk about something a little bit different here, mostly, career and your business. But, planning, especially right now, in the most obvious way, it just helps us get that sense of control back that we feel like we've completely lost. And I know some of the other experts have a lot of really great things to say about this. One of the other things I'd like to add to this conversation, though, about planning and how it relates to our wellness is that it helps us to live in integrity with what we want and with what we say that we want. And what I mean by that is we all have a vision for ourselves and the kind of person we are, who we want to be. Maybe we even have really big goals for ourselves too. But to live in integrity with that vision or those goals for ourselves, we need to actually plan things in our calendar, plan things in our day-to-day life to make those things happen. So for example, if you want to be, you have a vision of being a fit person, life can just sort of pass you by. And if you don't make time and plan for activities, going to your doctor's appointments, going for a walk outside, going for a run, doing some weight resistant activities, all of those things. Same within our career. Planning helps us to live with integrity with what we want for our careers. If we don't plan, then we can just end up accepting the random things that come our way.
No, absolutely. And on that note, I have planned to go for a small walk right after this chat of ours.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing I want to quickly touch on is what kind of things can we plan for this holiday season that will sort of help us stay less stressed?
I love that question because we all know that like things are just so busy, even though we feel like it's not that busy. So if we don't plan for what we want to do or what we need to do, then again, things will just take a different course. There's certain online events that'll happen. It's a new month, so Netflix has loaded up new stuff for us to watch, so we can just stay busy watching those kinds of things. But one of the things that we can plan to do, especially in December, is set at a couple of hours in our calendar and do a year in review. Look at this past year, and it's been a wild year, but it would be a shame for us not to really sit down and think about what worked well. What were some successes that I had this year? What can I add to my CV for my resume to show that I was resilient? What do I want to take with me and leave behind in 2021? So plan that time in your calendar. Think it through because it's so easy just to get bogged down with what the news is, what Dr. Hinshaw is going to tell us today that, gives us a lot of anxiety. But, look back to February to March when that big transition was happening and everything shifted for you in your career. What did you do to stay resilient? How have you pivoted in your career and to show that you adjusted? Those things really, really matter and can help position you for your next great role, can help in your negotiations moving forward in 2021. So be sure to plan for that in December.
Interesting. That was great insight. And do you see any correlation between planning and wellness, Kristen?
Absolutely. I see this all the time with my clients. I work one-on-one with driven women and women in groups. And I've got to tell you, you can just see the shift in their faces because they come to me. There's a lot of uncertainty about their brand, about how they're showing up, about how they want to deliver the value that they can bring. And once they have a plan in place and they know what their next steps are in the immediate future and in the long term, they feel so much more at ease. And so I believe there's absolutely a relationship between wellness and planning, and that planning allows us to focus on what we know is going to work for us And we can absolutely adjust if we need to. But when we have that focused time that we know is important, then it frees up more time to do other activities, like you were saying, going for a walk right after this call. Maybe it's just taking time to have one-on-one time with your spouse or with one of your kids, or picking up the phone and calling someone and telling them that you miss them. When you have that focused time that you've planned in your calendar, it opens up room for more things, for other things.
As you were talking, I was just thinking about this quote I read somewhere one time. Everybody has the same 24 hours. It's how you choose to use those 24 hours. And I think you've said it so beautifully that planning can truly help us put into perspective that what time do we allocate to what activities in life? Because if we don't, I think if we don't have that sort of visual set out, then it just can be a run on. And I think and sometimes I catch myself as friends or I'm talking to my sisters, it's like, oh my God, I didn't do this today. I intended to, I had intentions to do a task, but I didn't, just because it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then you sort of feel bad about it. And then it sort of becomes this stressful, nagging thing in the back of your mind. Right. But if you had planned for it, and you took the time that, there's certain things that you need to do for your job, for your family, build out that time in your schedule, be really focused on it, deliver on it, be where your feet are planted, right? That's another thing that I think helps with planning so much, so that when that time is up, you're done and it's time to move on. And then you jump into that next activity, like calling your sisters, spending that dedicated time with somebody else.
No, that was amazing. Kristen, thank you so much for joining us on this segment and sharing such great insights on planning and the importance of planning and its correlation with wellness. And thank you, everybody, for watching us. Stay tuned. Please do subscribe to our channel, and we will come back with more episodes. Thank you.
Thank you.